this day every week to be able to come on and share with you and to have Morgan and I have our guests on to discuss the many, many issues of women's lives. And we are getting ready to include some men in there to kind of get a male's perspective. So y'all come in, share this, share this. We are live on so many platforms, on YouTube, on the House of Peach page on YouTube. We're House of Peach page on Facebook, my page. Right. So call me now. Right. So Morgan's Facebook page. We are everywhere. So can you do me some do a favor? Do me a favor. Can you share this? Can you share? All right. Every week we want to expose more people to what's going on here. Um, so my day has been pretty good. I didn't get as much completed as I wanted to, but I'm not going to get upset about that. It happened for a reason. So, what I needed to take care of that kept me from doing what I wanted to do or needed to do was probably more important. So, it's all good. I'm happy. So, in here, when you come in, please say hello. So many have already done so as already, but just if you're here and you haven't chimed in, come on in. Hey, Morgan, I was just
Yep.
trying to, I coming. I'm like, let me just kind of do a little something so she gets in here.
You already know.
It's okay. You've had a day. This is the best part of your day because you get to relax and now we get to do the show. We get to kind of chill, you know. Hey, Tadrika, how are
It's
you?
so funny that you say that because even if I'm like, oh man, okay, day's not over yet. And I like sit down and I'm like, by the time like we start and then it's definitely over, it doesn't feel like it was like an elongation of the day. I really felt like I got to, sit down and chat with my friends and like,
Mm,
just really have a nice way to decompress.
mhm.
So, I feel like I'm already personally really enjoying the show like for myself on this end,
Yes,
So thank you,
yes.
co-host.
Hey, I have learned so much from all of the guests that we've had on. And even now, I think back to every day, I think back to one of our guests and what we learned. So it's like, okay, okay. So, so good. That lets me know if it's not helping anybody else, it's for sure helping me. So
Yeah,
I'm good.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jackie, so
Hello,
good to
hey
see you
Jackie.
on. Drika, so glad to have you here. I'm fantastic. I'm great. I hope you're doing well. So, we have had so much going on since January when we started hosting the show. We've had a number of guests from no, different walks of life. It's been really great. And I'm just looking forward to what's coming because it's just only going to get better and better. I will go ahead and let our viewers know that we are going to have an 18-year-old entrepreneur come on soon, probably within the next, I think, 2 to 3 weeks we talked about.
Hmm.
She is phenomenal, and I can't wait to have her on to encourage the younger generation of entrepreneurs because she's going to really put it down, and I cannot wait. So we also have to get Sean, Bronte.
Yes.
Bronte rescheduled, so hopefully she'll be able to be on next week
Hmm.
and show us how to have it all of it as an entrepreneur, like have our hands
Yes.
in multiple, like literally multiple streams of income. So I'm looking forward to that. But tonight we have one of my sisters, and I call her my sister because we are in the same sister squad. We've gotten really close over this past, I want to say year maybe. And she she is so sweet. She's a sweetheart. But I've actually had a chance to see her in work. So Dr. V got married in February, and both of us were in Dr. V's wedding. And she was actually working while we were down in Tampa. And I could see the difference. You see the difference in people when they're doing business and when they're just kind of talking with you. And I said, oh, she's serious. She's like really handling her business, but she's going to come on tonight. Her name is Stacy Gregory, and I love her dearly. She's going to come on today and talk to us about her businesses and being an entrepreneur after everything that we've experienced with the pandemic. We know the pandemic came and literally tore our lives apart. All of us, we all were affected in some kind of way. Some of us lost family members, some of us had it ourselves. I had COVID twice. Twice, could not believe it. The first time I had it, it was undiagnosed, but all of the symptoms, it was that. And I was still teaching because we were at home. We could not, nobody was out. And I was doing it virtual. And I remember doing it from my bed. I was just that sick. I taught class from my bed. Next time I got it, I was in New Orleans at a conference. And I thought I was going to be big and bold, like, oh, I'll be fine. You know, all of these, because I was a surgical tech conference. So everybody there works in the hospital. So they had to have their vaccinations. So I'm like, oh, that's good. You know, they got their vaccinations, blah, blah, blah. No, the day that I got ready to leave New Orleans and go back to New Jersey, I'm like, why am I so sick? What is wrong? So I went downstairs to the little shop they have. I got a leave. I took that. I felt a little better, just enough to get to the airport. Got on the plane, flew into Atlanta, got off the plane sick as a dog, had to do it again. Like, what is going on? Went and had it tested, COVID. I'm like, how do you do this twice? So, but Stacy's going to talk to us about being an entrepreneur and recuperating from that and how, what that taught her and how it's going to, how we can still make what we want and do what we want to do even after that, because we're kind of all getting back yet, you know, getting back somewhat on track. You know, not everything is completely like it was before, and it never will be. But we need to know that we can bounce back from anything. We're strong, we are resilient, and we don't have to succumb to what has taken place. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that I'm like super, super excited to talk to her about this because I actually started officially like started a business with like paparazzi a few months before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And so having to try to manage a business during COVID. And then even just thinking about now in food, how the
Mm-hmm.
food industry has changed so much and how a lot of things that, we might have been considering a few years ago is not necessarily something that we can consider now. And now, it's the game's a little bit different.
Right.
So if you have a specific goal of what you're trying to, either make as far as a business or a specific mark that you're trying to make, you might need to, have to course correct. So like I'm like
Mm-hmm.
super excited to, hear what she's got to say. And of course, pick her brain.
Yeah, absolutely. So Stacy has, and I told her, I said, send me a little bio, some little information that we can talk about to kind of give the viewers a little your background. And she
Yeah.
has had her hands in a lot. Of course, I'm going to fuss at her because she sent it to me like 10 minutes ago. How I said like 2 days ago. So, for those of you that will be future guests, if we ask you for a little bio, little information that we don't know, we need that earlier than 10 minutes before the show starts. I love her just the same. So she has experience, over 10 years of experience in physician office management, income taxation, business management, and she can consult, and I would consider her like a consultant. So she can come into a business and do a consultation to view the areas that they need to improve to make more money, to make more revenue. So
Mhm.
that is very key because we don't know it all. Even with my business, I don't know it all. Like, I need to know how to market better, how to brand myself better so that I get my name out there. People know who I am, but do they really know my business? So now I have to really market that and brand that. And so she has a lot of expertise and she gets a lot of revelation from God on that, which is really
Love
important.
it.
God has to be You have to have your higher power that you ascribe to, that you pray to, that you meditate on in order to get that revelation that you need, because sometimes that's what you go on, is the wisdom that you get from there. And so I'm grateful that she says that. And she has a book that's coming out soon that we will be able to pre-order, and she's going to give us all. I'm not going to tell it all. I'm going to let her do it. But one thing that is funny that we have to prepare her is she is super nervous, like even more nervous than any of our other guests. And I said, Stacy, come on. You've been watching this show since the
Exactly. You've been in the
end of
room
January,
before.
right? You've been watching the show since the end of January. You've been commenting away. And Dr. V has her own, she has a ministry. So every Sunday morning, she has service live on Facebook. And Stacy is the one that comes on and does everything. I said, but Stacy, she said, but I've never had anybody ask me questions. Okay, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You see how we do it? It's really laid back. It's a lot of
Exactly.
fun. It's a lot of laughs. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So we are going to see. We're waiting for her to come on. I think she might have been having some technical difficulties herself, but let's just talk about what we have upcoming. What we got upcoming. So
Okay. What do we have?
let's talk about he said, she said. Let's promote that. Yeah, let's promote
Yes.
that. Let's do that
Yes.
early.
Okay. Yes.
So we're going to have a new series to start that's added in, is called He Said, She Said. And this is where we're going to have male and female, and we're going to have a male perspective on whatever topic we're discussing. And the guys are going to be able to come in. We want to have a panel. So for your husbands, your brothers, your boyfriends, your friends, your whomever that want to get in and weigh in and give it from a male's perspective, and we're going to have from the female's perspective on no topic is off limits. Now, should I say that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to, we have to discuss it all, because that is, as a sidebar, I'm going to say as a sidebar. So we sometimes do not have the serious discussions about things, and people are left in the dark. And then when stuff comes up, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't know anything about that. So we are going to be the ones that have this discussion right here on this show with the he said, she said. I am excited about that. Are you excited about that?
I'm super excited
Yeah.
because I know I'm a person who always wants to know both sides of the story. And one of the major reasons why I still have two male close friends is because they are two people who know me, that, let's say my husband and I are getting into an argument and I'm just like, really, like, I really don't understand this. These are two guys who I know are 100% one, my friends, but invested in my marriage just as much as I am. So they'll be
Mhm.
like, you know what, Mo, that was really messed up. Or what you said, this is what he heard. And
Mm.
I'd be like, but that's not what I said. And he'd be like, but that's
Mhm.
not what I said. I said that's
Right,
what he heard. And
right.
I'm like, oh, okay. Well, then, and now I get to say, well, how do in y'all's language I say, like,
Right.
to be able to get that. And then, honestly, to bring that back to the table, boom, smooth sailing. Well, thank you very much. So, having another perspective can honestly always be something that allows you to
Mhm.
either grow or be better, do better, or just, if nothing else, be informed. Because, like you said, no topic is off limits. So, I'm sure we'll talk about some stuff that we had, no idea. I know,
Right.
being a doula, like doing just sheer anatomy, there were things that after even having two kids, I was like, yo, what?
Right.
Like the oh, really? Like, so there's really, and you still learn. Like, if you're not learning something every day, then what you doing? But like that's what I'm excited about. The different perspectives and being able to learn and hear, from multiple people.
And that's important too, because we need to know, because we need to work on communication skills. So,
Yeah.
one thing that I have noticed, cell phones have been out for a very long time, and it has I've watched how people no longer communicate with each other, they're on the phone. And so this will help us to be able, because we need to be able to communicate verbally. I teach that to my students. Like, you have to be able to communicate with the surgeon and all the other staffs and the staff members in the operating room. Otherwise, this patient's going to suffer. And you're not going to be able to use your phone to do it because you're sterile. So you're in sterile attire. Your phone is not sterile. So you got to open your mouth.
Right.
So I
Well,
believe that.
around here we say use your words. So
Right. Use your words, use your
use
words.
your
And
words.
even with that, you were talking about, that's not, your friends were saying that's not what he heard. It's always about the perception. We say it one way, but it's received another way. And I tell my son that all the time. He's like, well, I didn't say it that way. Well, that's what you said, but that's how I received that. So this he said, she said is going to be great for us to get the male's perspective and the female, so we both can understand each other better. Now, are we going to understand each other 100%? No,
No.
you're not. There will
No.
be moments that we're like, what? I don't know. But this will kind of help us, God, kind of give us a guide. I'm looking forward to it as well because I want to make sure I do things right and
Yeah,
say things
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
right.
Or if nothing
So,
else, be at least be open to hearing the other side. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Because if nothing else, that just enlightens you.
exactly, exactly. And hey, I'm
Like
tough.
our truck driving one, right?
Oh, yeah,
We were talking about before how
absolutely.
like every time now we see a truck on the road, we think
Yeah.
about stuff that Jasmine had said during the podcast. You know?
I am completely watching them when I come off a ramp or when I'm like, oh, okay, you're going just, if I'm doing 70 and you're passing me, you have to be doing 80. Got to be. So, yeah, I'm going to stay out of your way. But yeah,
Exactly. Stay out of your
yeah, out of your way. So we're excited for the He Said, She Said series. We will have it one of our shows per month is going to be dedicated to that. And we, Morgan and I, are still going to work out if it's going to be, the first Tuesday, second Tuesday. We're getting all that ironed out because at this point we are finally getting to where all of our scheduled people have been on, and now we're going from May on up and filling in those slots. So if you are an entrepreneur and or you're doing wonderful things in your community, or you just whatever, ladies, we're trying to empower each other, then reach out to one of us. You have an email, you have Facebook, any avenue, House of Peach page, Morgan's page, my page, any, and the email is what, series, hop series, I think, at
series.
Gmail.
Oh, I believe.
So we'll get that for you. So you
Yeah,
have
yeah, exactly.
but the quickest
We'll put it
way,
underneath.
the quickest way to get to us is through Facebook, through social media, because whether it's Facebook or Instagram, we're on there. So hey, Smack, I see you on. Hey, so I believe Stacy is here. We're gonna bring her on. We don't want to lengthen the time anymore of us just talking back and forth because we can talk all day long. We can't do that. Hi, Stacy.
Hello.
Hey, April. Hey, Morgan.
How are
You look beautiful.
Thank you. You look beautiful too, April. And you look beautiful as well, Morgan. How are you ladies
you?
doing?
We are
Uh,
fantastic. So happy to have you on here.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate the invite. And I'm going to be a blessing today to you ladies.
Oh, so you kind of blinking out there. Can you hear us?
I hear you guys perfect. That's
Okay.
fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
how's the connection?
So far, so good.
Okay, if it gets a little spotty, let me know. I'll then go and I'll try to get on the laptop.
Okay. So we want to just dive right into this interview process, this to talking with you because you are doing so many things, and you're going to talk to us about life and entrepreneurship after COVID. So one of the things that Morgan and I were talking about is how everyone was hit so hard with COVID and nobody knew what to do, and we were affected with our health or family, businesses. I saw a lot of businesses shut down, but you have maybe I can say the key or an avenue that business owners can follow and go through that will help them in there. So what was tell us about your business. So the name of your business and what all you do.
Okay, so the name of my business is Human Resources for Me. So Human Resources for Me is a separate entity from the book, which is Recovering Wealth After COVID-19. So Human Resources for Me does help entrepreneurs. And Human Resources for Me also helps remote employees and in remote employers. And how Human Resources for Me helps people is we actually help physician offices by providing them medical billing services, credentialing services, answering services. We also provide bookkeeping for them, and we also provide payroll services for them. And then in regards to the medical billing aspect, we also provide insurance verification and prior authorizations, which is very important for a physician's revenue cycle, because sometimes what happens is physicians, they may try to go into the business and they may kind of skip the process of doing the insurance verifications, right? So and then on top of them skipping the insurance verification process, they may also miss out on getting prior authorizations when necessary. So that part of the business helps physicians if they're actually looking for remote staff. So that's when we actually come into play, and we actually help them to save a lot on overhead. We also help small businesses with payroll and bookkeeping as well. And if they need a little bit of wisdom, we also give them a little bit of wisdom. Now, Recovering Wealth After COVID-19 is a instructional guide that's specifically for small business owners who have stores. They were hit pretty hard. It's also for speakers. Some speakers were hit pretty hard because they were not able to really go out and do speaking engagements. It's also for beauticians, because a lot of them were also hit extremely hard. Some of them were only able to get the $600 a week. Some of them make $2,000, $3,000 per week. So that really hurt them a lot. It's also for barbers in regards to how barbers can also do other things as well. And it's also for gym trainers and pet trainers in regards to how it helps store owners. It helps store owners who may have not ventured out into the online market yet. And as we all know, how so many stores had to shut down, right? So when a lot of stores shut down, a lot of their revenue, it left. And it didn't come back even after COVID. And the reason being is because people got so comfortable with ordering so many things online. Some of the mom and pop store owners, they're not very comfortable in regards to going online. And sometimes I'm not internet savvy, or sometimes it can be, hey, with the products that I have here, I don't have a whole lot of products. So if I do put products online, how am I going to keep track of these items in the store? So this book gives them wisdom in regards to, one, how to set up that system, right? And it also gives them wisdom in regards to, okay, if your shop consists of selling vintage items, this may be a great website for you to go to. Maybe it's Bonanza. Maybe Amazon just might not be your proper circuit. In regards to speakers, the book encourages speakers to also continue to be online. And it also encourages them to also sell memorabilia. And please forgive me if I have butchered that word. Okay.
You're good.
Because the human mind, right? A lot of times with the human mind, we can go to a wonderful conference and receive all this wonderful information, and maybe a week or two later, or if you have a very busy life, day 3, it will fade out. So memorabilia really helps in regards to staying connected with your audience, and making them feel that special connection with you. Not only does it help with having a better connection with your audience, it also helps in regards to them selling more products, selling more of their items as well. For beauticians, this book talks about how they can also venture into the medical field. and also where they can actually possibly start their own shampoo lines, their own hair care lines in regards to building their own brand. For barbers, it also talks about, and it talks about ways that they can actually venture into possibly taking their barber business into making it into a school, or also starting their own shampoo lines, skincare lines. The same in pet, for pet trainers, it talks about them branding and getting certain items for their pets, like if it be for food or clothing, or different things that pet owners are looking for. You already have the clientele, so a venture into actually other revenue streams. And the same thing for gym owners. They lost a lot of revenue during COVID as well. So the book also encourages them to step into more of a branding product line where you get your own products and you actually sell packages to your clients. And it also shows them exactly where to go to get the clients, whether that be supplements, whether that be waist trainers, whether that be pills, jump ropes, or whatever. So the book is extremely informational and is extremely instructional. And I love it because it teaches so many of those people who suffered during the pandemic. There are a lot of people who suffered during the pandemic, but those people and those businesses really suffered a lot.
Wow, so much to unpack here. Okay, you are like the guru, like you do a lot. Now let's go. So, someone, a spec had asked where you're able to get the book. For those of you interested in ordering her book, there is her website that will take you directly to how to pre order her book. And I'm going to put my order in tonight so I can make sure I have mine together. Okay, let's go back. Let's talk about human resources for me. Okay, so do you actually supply these?
I hear that, Nisi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no, you're good.
Nisi,
You're good.
Nisi said fantastic information, Stacy.
Thank,
Conduct a master class, please. I see a
thank,
business coaching business monthly subscription. Make it happen.
thank.
Okay,
So yeah.
the prophet has spoken. The prophet Nisi has spoken. So you better screenshot that and remember that.
Listen,
Definitely.
let me
You
go.
need to put that in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She has definitely spoken. You have it. You have what's needed.
Yes, through the grace of God, we've been going through our process in regards to that. And
Yeah,
Nisi, I received that, and I thank you for confirmation, and I thank you for the encouragement. I really do.
absolutely. So, do you supply these businesses with the staff? So, you said medical billing. So, let's talk about the medical billing and coding for the physician offices. Do you find the employees for them, or do they have people? How does that work?
No. So for medical billing, we do not provide a staff to go into their office. What
Mhm.
we actually provide the actual service. So if they're
Okay.
interested in needing, if they need medical billing services, if they're backed up on medical billing services, if they're backed up on insurance verifications or prior authorizations, because sometimes that does happen, simply because they may go ahead and see patients and they may not obtain that information. We help with that. So we're the actual, we actually provide the medical billing to them and the prior authorizations to them. Now, in regards to the staffing, what we do is whenever we have a client, if the client actually spends over $299 per month, if they need staff, we will help them to find staff. We will help them to help them to find paid staff, because a lot of the entrepreneurs that we deal with, they are juggling a lot of stuff. They're doing a
Mhm.
lot of things, and sometimes, they may desire certain things and they may want to implement certain things, but they don't have the time to do it. They may not have the resources to do it. They may not have the HR department to help them in regards to, one, receiving the information in regards to exactly what it is that they do need, going out and finding that specific person for them, interviewing that person for them if that's what they desire, and then handling the W-4, the I-9, and if they desire background checks, we also do background checks for them as well. So that's how we aid in regards to that. I'm hoping that in the future, if God does say so, that we can actually offer staffing in regards to possibly getting paid in regards to provide staffing. But if he doesn't open the door, I'm not going. Also, I know I had said so many things to you guys, but I do want to give God his props, because human resources for me came about through God, through hearing the voice of God. And he helped me to birth the business, not just birth the business, but he gave me the name of the business and what he wanted me to do in the business. For recovering wealth after COVID-19, God also gave me that book as well. And I would be wrong not to say that he did that and act like I'm so smart, right? So
Said he said it, I just did it.
exactly. Yes, yes. I just really, really wanted to get that right there out in the open, because I don't want to get in trouble later on, like, because I didn't mention that. Okay. Sometimes
Right.
I'm going to give God all the glory. And then we get out there, we doing all this talking, and we ain't said anything about the King of Kings. So I wanted to mention that.
Absolutely, absolutely. He is pleased. You have done well. So Smack is asking about work from home jobs. I'm not for sure how that works, or what entail what she was really asking about that. So can you talk about that as far as work from home jobs, and how human resources for me can help with that?
Okay, so human resources for me right now, we are not hiring. However, one of the beautiful things that I do get to do is work from home. And people who work with me, they actually get to work from home as well. And that's truly a blessing. So if you're actually looking for a work from home job, doing medical billing and insurance verifications and provider authorizations is something that you can get into if you take a class and you find out about medical coding and the procedure codes, the diagnosis codes, and actually get yourself trained in regards to that. That would be a wonderful work from home position for you, because that would allow you to do what? Work from home. There's a lot of times we hear about work from home positions, but then we go looking for them and we get highly disappointed. So for this particular job, you can actually work from home. You can also work from home with doing bookkeeping. You can also work from home with also doing payroll. It's about finding the appropriate class, getting yourself educated, and then marketing yourself. So these are pretty much work from home positions. Did you have another question?
Morgan.
Who, me? Oh, listen, I'm just taking a whole lot in, especially, um not to say that my mind, I love the fact that you actually said that you give God the credit for especially the book, and where how the book comes together, the ideas in the book, um because I feel like God is very instrumental in even how things culminate together. Like for you to put medical in with beautician, like that's a big jump and very broad, but to be able to put those things together, how would you say juggle, how would you, I guess, advise someone who has their hand in now those two things to be able to juggle the two and not feel like they have to pull back from one
Do you
or the other?
do you mean like,
Like,
if go ahead?
for instance, like, I mean, it seems like a lot of the ideas in the book will create multiple streams of income. Like, for instance, you were talking about, the pet shops and stuff like that. Now they're going a little bit more product based, with the shampoos and things. So, I mean, that right there is a business in and of itself. So now you've got, there's attention that is needed to go through that. What happens if you really hit it big with this product, and now that, you've now become consumed with that? Does that mean that you're no longer grooming dogs? Or does that mean, like, what, you know what I mean? How exactly do you juggle that when things start to get to that space?
That is a very good question. My suggestion would be that they hire help. That's number one. Help in regards, let's just say the person does have a pet store, right? And this shampoo business takes off. I would say automate it. Work with work with the manufacturer to see if the manufacturer can actually ship it out, or find a different company who can manufacture it and ship it, or find a shipping company such as Shopify or one of them that can actually ship it out. And that's one part of revenue. And they can also actually market that part of revenue online. But they can also have the shampoos in their shop. Because a lot of times, just like whenever you go see your beautician, you trust her, you have a relationship with her, right? Let's just say, do you have a dog?
No, I used to, but no.
Let's just say you take your dog to the trainer, or you take your dog to the pet sitter, because
Hmm.
nowadays people do take their animals to pet sitters, right?
Yes.
So there, on a display, just like in a beauty salon, they would have shampoo displayed for the animal. So then you automatically know, okay, they sell shampoo. Also, as the pet store owner, they would also have a poster up letting you know, hey, you know what? This shampoo here is excellent for the skin. It has oatmeal in it. It has vitamin E or aloe. It protects the dog from fleas. However, they have to advertise it, because it just sitting on a shelf. It could just be sitting there, but it's also good to have that display there. So while they pick up the animal, they can also buy some shampoo for the animal, or if they're bringing the animal in to get trained, then they can also buy some shampoo.
Hmm.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, definitely doesn't seem like, I guess you have to, it's find a way to just incorporate it into, intertwine it all into one.
Yes, and just don't sell it from the shop. You would already have your walk-in traffic that would come in that already know, okay, this is Carlos's or Jamie's pet shop. So they already know as they come in that they're able to see what it is that you carry. But if you have, obviously if you have an online following, or if you have, in your advertising, you're advertising that shampoo separately. And that's when I suggest that you have a manufacturing company that will actually do that shipping for you. Because if they have it in-house where they're doing all of that stuff by themselves, it does become overwhelming. And part of wanting to be wealthy, you don't sometimes people lose their health because they're not sleeping, they're overworking. So you
Mm-hmm.
want to be wealthy, and you also want to have your health, you want to have your peace of mind, you want to have time for your children, you want to have time for God. So sometimes, we step into these arenas, and that's when we learn, and we like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore, maybe I should give this up, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. When if you have like an instructional guide, or if you have a coach, or if people come and listen to the House of Peach, they're able to get wisdom and find out, okay, maybe I should actually do this differently, maybe this is how I should do it, instead of handling everything myself.
Right.
Morgan and I were just having this conversation before the show.
Yeah.
I was sitting here about to scream, like, oh my God, we were just talking about that like less than an hour ago. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
exactly. Exactly. That's why I was like,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So Jackie was asking, are you able to advise businesses who are home based?
Yes. When you say advise businesses that are home based, do you mean like, am I able to give them wisdom? And I apologize, I may not be able to see the question, so I think you
No,
guys.
no, no, you're fine. That's what we're for. We'll read them to you. You're good. You're good.
Now, and I do want to clarify the question in regards to because to me, when you say, am I able to advise them, that means that, can I give them wisdom? Can I give them a consultation? Can I give them coaching? Or do you mean, am I able to help them? Is that what you mean?
So we'll let Jackie respond to that because that was her question. So she'll go deeper into that. But until then, so you guys, just as a little break here, there is a QR code on the screen. Please subscribe to House of Peach page. So all you have to do is scan that QR code and then subscribe. You will get notifications. Turn them on. So when we are on live, or if there's any events, we have a big event that's going to be coming up in September. So we want you to be in the know of everything that's going on. So you guys scan that QR code. All right, let's go to Smack. Smack said, what got you to the point to become an entrepreneur, not just working for others? What got you to do that?
I'm gonna say God. That's number one. But I feel like I feel like since I was a kid, I always had a knack for entrepreneurship. I feel like God deposited that in me. I remember us not really having a lot of money. My family was on food stamps, and listen, whatever Mama bought, that's what she bought. We may have wanted snacks, but there was no communication, and I was a chubby kid. And my neighbors and I, we would play. And of course, we wanted candy. At that time, candy was 1 penny. But if you don't even have 5 cent, 10 cent, 25 cent, you can't get the candy, right?
Mhm.
So I would come up with ways such as like, okay, you know what? Hey guys, mom has a lot of books in the store. I mean, books in the house. Let us go ahead and try to sell some of her books. So we would have book sales. You know,
Wow.
table from inside of their house, and people would walk by. So we'd be like, excuse me, do you want to buy a book? And the book wouldn't be sold for very much. But hey, it takes confidence to ask someone, would you like to buy a book? So that's why some of you entrepreneurs out there, you may do things a little bit differently than other people. When times get hard, your brain is like going and going. How can I make some money? Because that's how you are. Or you might find yourself wanting to walk into different opportunities because you have that entrepreneurial mindset, so and then we try other things as well, maybe like selling like little clothes, or we would probably try to sell lemonade. So we try to make money in that way. And then as I got older, I also tried my hand in entrepreneurship in regards to, I work, having my own income tax business. Afterwards, I went on to open human resources for me. So I feel like it's always been in my heart to be an entrepreneur. Just like, if you guys are entrepreneurs up here, it's probably always been in your heart.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, so Jackie, she clarified and said, oh, Smack, before Smack said, yes, masterclass. She keeps seeing the ad. Yeah. She sees it as you speak, the masterclass. So you got to get that going. All right. So Jackie clarified and she says, as far as inventory and how to create a customer base. So for the home-based businesses, can you advise in inventory and how to create a customer base?
For something like that, I would advise a CRM. I think maybe like Zoho, or or high level. But what we can do is I can reach out to you, Jackie, and I can see how I can help you with that in regards to figuring out the inventory and keeping track of your customer base. Or also Trello. Trello also helps with that as well.
Look at you. You're getting ready to start your your consulting right here on the show. Wow.
It's like,
So
I'm gonna need
Morgan, I want to let you.
that website.
What do you say, Morgan?
I said, I'm gonna need that website.
Okay, absolutely. You're gonna need that
I'm
website.
like processing over here.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Like,
okay. I'm gonna let you process that. I didn't want to leave you out. I'm gonna let you.
you are not. I'm just, listen, it's a whole lot, and I'm over here like I'm
Your
too
brain is
far from a pen and paper right now. So I'm trying to like hold it all.
your brain is turning. Okay, that's
It's on like
on your face.
exactly, it's on overload right now. I'm like, okay.
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 Nisi
Listen,
said,
just Stacy, expect a phone call. Okay.
you're going to need to start this consulting and this masterclass way sooner than you thought.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
totally in. Yes, you're exactly what I've been looking for. Like yes.
I
She's
just
Okay.
excited.
you also for having up here because if you didn't extend that invitation, I wouldn't be here. So I'm very thankful. I'm very humbled. April,
You're doing great. See, it's not as heavy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're doing great.
Listen, when when um when April was like, Stacy's gonna be on, and then she was like, in the comments, I'm like, wait, what? Like, I get so excited when folks from the comments end up on the other end because, like, to me, I'm like, oh man, it's like now it's a face to a name and a voice and a personality. And now it's like, holy smokes, this woman's amazing. Like, it's
Yeah.
not, you know what I mean? It's not just a name and someone that you would like have to Facebook stalk to get to know. Like, you are. I'm so excited. I am not in any of those businesses, but I feel like I would buy the book as an entrepreneur in general because there's still a wealth of information to get out of it. If nothing else, a process or just a way of thinking.
Mhm.
And so if nothing else, I was gonna ask, is that something that in I guess your consultation that you help with, do you try to help with perspective or not necessarily change the way someone's thinking, but if you have someone who there's a lot of people who have an entrepreneurial spirit, but it may fizzle out at some point in time. But if, let's say, someone has a great idea, but if not, that support, how is that something that you do, and how do you help, I guess, that entrepreneur shape more or mold more what they're doing without it seeming like how you hear in the music industry when somebody goes and signs a contract, now someone else is trying to impose their ideas or whatnot onto them.
That's a very good question. And what I'm also going to be doing is I'm going to be offering business coaching. And in part of the business coaching, my main I'm going to say that my biggest focus is also going to be in emotional intelligence and building the entrepreneur up, and helping them to deal with their saboteurs, and also helping them to implement some things that they may need implemented, and taking some things out that they need to take out. And in regards to whenever those consultations take place, you're taught, like, because of course we have to go for training, and we've done a lot of the emotional intelligence training as well. But and I say we because April did get some emotional intelligence training, as well as Nisi, and a few people who will probably also well.
Yeah, it was great.
So we were able to actually go through that, and it has truly been a blessing. It has really helped with the foundation of being a much better person. In regards to having conversations with someone and making sure that there's confidentiality, that's important. They teach you that in business consulting and business coaching, that you have to keep everything confident, and it's not so much about us really influencing, in regards to us continuously telling you what to do, but you really growing and developing into who you are. Because who you are is absolutely perfect. It's just removing those saboteurs and removing certain things out of the way that will help you to grow and really understand you better. So that's really what I really look forward to offering, I would say, within the next few weeks.
Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. Sign me
I
up.
know, right? Can I get my name on the list? So I'm going to go back here. Nisi said, may we have a sneak peek of your book? If you can share some chapter titles or something out of the book, can you kind of give us a little something, little taste?
I wish I could, but I can't. And the reason being is because it's not set up that way. And I'm not going to, I was thinking about kind of selling different sections in different ways. And the reason being is because sometimes people may not need all of what it is that's in the whole book. If you're not a beautician, you may not want that section. You may specifically only want the information about speaking, right? And Nisi, I would love to be a blessing to you in regards to sharing information with you. Yes, I definitely will share information with you in regards to that as well. But I don't have everything sectioned off, and I don't have that, and I apologize about that. But I have been thinking about that. I've been thinking about sectioning it off because, hey, maybe you're a barber. You may not want to read the part about what a beautician's doing or what
Mhm.
artists should be doing, right? So
Right.
I'm really
Absolutely. It's a bomb book. A lot of people have, part one, part two, part three. Why not section it off? And then, like I said, for somebody like me, I would just read the whole thing anyway, because you never know. I don't like to do hair today, but I might decide to do it tomorrow. And now I got all this ideas going on.
Right.
So you can't take the me's out of the situation either. So I would have a price for the whole thing,
Mm.
and then I would have sectioned off prices.
Mm.
And girl, come on, we entrepreneurs up in this piece, make
Right.
that money.
I listen, listen, I'm being blessed sitting here. Thank you.
Listen, being in food, you learn how to upcharge but still be fair. That's my biggest thing.
Mhm.
Everything is a sale, and what you've done, the time that you've taken, what God has imparted it in you,
Mhm.
that's not something that we take for granted. That's
Right.
Yeah.
nothing. It's not something that to be taken lightly, and it definitely has some worth. And you're absolutely right. If I didn't want some of the other pieces, I like the fact that now I have the option of getting just what I want.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's at a very reasonable price.
Yeah.
And you never know. Honest, I mean, hello. It don't have to be anything that's crazy. Because the more that people get and hook on to what you got going on, next thing you know, we're gonna be watching this segment again on Good Morning America.
Right.
Somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? This is where we going next with this, okay?
Speak that, manifest that. Hey, speak that out
I
there.
Yes.
believe
Hey, make it happen. And if we can say, I remember when she was on our show. You said
Exactly.
show.
Exactly.
Right,
She
right.
was
yes. Yes, listen,
Absolutely.
and I'll
exactly.
remember that. And I'll listen, I would remember as well the encouragement. I'm very grateful, because it's sometimes
Absolutely.
different when you're pouring out, but then when you get back as well. So that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Jackie said, as you know, I love baking, but I am so unsure of how I can market myself. So please hurry up with this master class.
I
They're
will.
like, hurry, hurry up.
I
Wow.
will. Oh my goodness, I will. Oh my God, this has been so amazing. Just and it's a beautiful thing. And it's a blessing to be sitting here on the other side. I watch you guys, I would say every other week, but every time I watch you guys, I just get so much information. So this is such a blessing.
So and now you're on here giving the information yourself, but yet receiving at the same time. So you get double this today. Isn't that something?
Yes, yes. Oh my
So I want to ask you this question. So were you impacted personally by COVID that kind of sparked you to start writing this book? Or was it just because of what you saw worldwide, with people in different businesses? What kind of, and I'm sure I know part of the answer to that, but I'm gonna let you give it. So did you have anything personally that affected you, or was it just what you saw with other businesses?
Honestly, I went into my regular prayer time with God. I'm not going to say closet because it wasn't a closet, but I just went into my regular time with God, to pray and to read the word. And he just began to download bits and pieces. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, oh my God, this is a book. This is a book. Um, when he first began to download, I have this habit that I'm getting rid of, where sometimes I'll text my daughter what I'm hearing at the time, or if I see something or whatever. I'm getting better with using the notes. So I've been using the notes well, but I began to hear, and then I began to put it in wording format on the phone, because I only had the phone during that time. And then after I got out of my time with him, I began to transfer that information into the computer. And then as I was on the computer typing, it would come to mind, going to different places to actually find out information, like for vendors, like if they need to do it, if they would like to do a shampoo line for the beauticians. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that's a whole lot of information. I'm like, I'm saying all this stuff, and then that. And what happened was, the specific vendor stayed on my computer for like 3 days, and that was crazy to me. When I say it looked like somebody, and I cut the computer off, because I was like, this doesn't make any sense. But it looked like that particular vendor's information, like somebody just copied and pasted it right in the middle of the page. And I cut the computer off, cut it back on. It was still there. So I realized, I said, okay, this is more of God. I have to put this in the book. So that's how vendors' information also came into the book, because how the book was flowing, God also wanted me to put the vendors in there. So I'm going to say the whole encouragement truly came from him.
Wow.
I could, talk about statistical data and bring that up, but reality of life is, I was just a vessel that he used to come forth with this information. You know,
Wow.
oh yeah, that's what happened.
They just as easy and plain as that.
Yeah.
And I think now, and I could be wrong, but you guys tell me what you thought. I think people now have been more pushing towards having a relationship with, whether it's God or whoever you pray to or meditate towards, to get more insight and wisdom. And that's really important, because some people out here just doing things. They just want to do it. They don't have any kind of foundation and background, no nothing, and they're just out here. Then when it fails, it may not fail because that's not what you're supposed to do. It may fail because you haven't gotten the right resources. You haven't received the right resources or the right revelation, so to say, to help you along the way. But you've received that revelation to not only help you to start a business, but also to write a book. And that says a lot. So that lets us know that you're not just doing this of your own, you're doing the physical labor of it, but you're getting the download and the information from God to say, do it this way, do it that way. And that's what makes it prosper. That's what makes it grow, when you do it that way, when you hear him. So I applaud you for having that prayer time. Hey, I've been the same way. I've heard in prayer, go get your journal. Like, oh, okay, let me go get this journal. So I'm sitting in the middle of the bed with my journal, and I'm, praying, and he's giving me stuff. And as I'm writing it down, I'm like shocked at what I'm writing. Like, oh my God, what? So been there, done that. So absolutely awesome.
Yes, just the Father. That's it. Just the it's just the Father. Yeah.
Yeah. He is amazing. He gives you everything that you need. All you have to do is ask for it, and then be receptive to hearing it. So
Yeah.
we believe that you are going to impact and help so many businesses to come. You already have a class. You have a class already. They're waiting for you to put it together.
Exactly. A class and subscription members, because once you do the class, folks is going to talk, and then the already folks are like, hey, give me that monthly
Yeah.
subscription. Those extras is going to come. So hey, listen, if nothing else, this was a masterclass in client acquisition right there, Jackie. See, look at that. You see how that goes?
Yep. Yep. There it is, right there. So I suggest you later on today and tomorrow, go ahead and get that portion, your master class, get it all outlined and ready to go, and your subscriptions ready to go, because you don't want, when the influx to come, that you're like, oh, wait a minute, I got to get this together. No, you should already have this together. April 25th, 2023. This is when we said to get it together. So
Exactly.
and hey,
Exactly.
we
This
already
time
know.
next year, I can't wait to see where she
Oh my
is.
Thank
goodness.
you so much.
Probably on Good Morning America. Probably on Good Morning America. For real.
Exactly.
For
Listen,
Listen, I just want to be outside with the sign and like, I know Stacy.
real. And don't act like you don't know us. We
Exactly. April's gonna have the one that's like, Stacy's my sister.
right. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be like, I know her too. That's what my sign's gonna
Those two, right? Those two signs right there are going to draw attention. They are going to bring us. Yeah, we're going to be there. They're on TV. Yeah, get ready.
you guys,
Get ready.
I'm still gonna be watching House of Peach. April's still gonna be my sister, and I'm still gonna have the Sister Squad because I know I cannot do it without them, and that's my truth. I know I can't. God has put us together,
Yeah,
so
absolutely, absolutely. Hello, Brenda. Thank you for joining us. We are all
say.
well. We hope you are doing well as it's same. So, have you finished processing, Morgan? I'm not trying. Are you still processing? You got something else you want to ask? Because I know this has like been a
No,
lot.
because what I want to ask, I need to pay her for. So
Okay. So how have things been with your family? How supportive? Because I know you have a daughter, and does she help you in the business?
she does not. She
Okay.
is with her. I had to learn that she loves music. And that's what she does. I remember earlier on in life just really trying to push her to do other things, and I got a wake up call that her thing is music. I remember trying to get her into this. Somebody told me about a camp about science. I was like, oh yeah, you're going to this science camp and this that and the other for the summer, and it's going to be so nice. And I think it was by Black Girls Rock. That's
Mm,
great group too, to get your children involved with. And I took her there, and they specifically had a program for, I think it was ages 14 or either 13, and girls going into the ninth grade. It was specific, and they said we're starting this music program, and I realized, I said, okay, I said I done got tricked. I said this is for her to do music beats for the summer, to learn about music beats. I said, okay. And then they had a list, and it was only for like about 14 people. And I had to go to the bathroom so bad. So I was already standing up. So by the time I got to the list, she was the first person on the list. And on that day, I said, okay, I really believe this is God. Music is her thing. And then on that Sunday, we were going to a church in Queens, and we had a guest pastor, and he was explaining that if your children are called to play basketball, whatever God put in them, let them do that. So I learned to back up and understand that if music is her thing, so be it. But if
mm,
if it's something that I needed help with, like when I was doing the taxes, something minute, like when she was maybe about 12, and she could go out with her dad, I would have them possibly give out flyers in the neighborhood or something like that. But I don't really pressure her to really do what it is that I do, because I had to learn that her gifting is music, and to also be an entrepreneur, but whatever it is that God has called her to do. So I don't really push it on her. Not saying it's a bad thing, but I got the message when we went to the Black Girls Rock summer program, and I thought I was going to enroll her in some type of science program. So
mm.
it's like, back off.
I love it. I love it. Not that she necessarily tricked you, but
No, I,
in the sense of, I like the fact that as a parent, you were able to see and to also hear, because a lot of people don't realize that that is also part of the train up a child
mm,
Mhm.
in the way that they should go. You have to be able to hear. And sometimes it's our children who tell us it's us that are involved in what our children are doing for us to be able to know what their likes and what their talents and what their skills are, and then to help it, expose them to different things so they can be able to figure it out. It's not that she wouldn't have had fun at the science, thing, but it definitely obviously was more beneficial to something that she can actually have as a career. And and to have a parent support a child like that allows a child to really be able to blossom. We're always talking, about our parenting shows, so that was a nice little
Yeah, yeah.
mesh into that,
Right,
and kudos
right.
to you for that. That's awesome. But at the same time, I also love the fact that I'm sure she can be able to come to you and, if nothing else, ask you for business advice as she too is trying to market herself.
Yes. Oh yeah, we talk about stuff like that, but in regards to her helping with, the other stuff, we don't, like I don't use her to help me with that, because she's doing music and stuff like that.
So Stacy's website is up on the screen where you can pre-order your copy of her book, and she's going to start her masterclass. We're going to be all prepared for that. I see my mama on here. Hey, mama.
I know. Hey.
So also too, the QR code is there. If you have not scanned that QR code to subscribe to everything, make sure you do. That way you will get notifications of when we're on, for our events that are coming up, everything. Dr. V says that your daughter is amazing. Her music is fire. Okay, okay.
Really? I'm gonna need you to drop the information for me too, please.
Right.
I will.
Dr. V said, hey, Mama Kathy. Everybody loves my mama.
I tried not to torture you. Do you know how hard it is for me over here? I just twiddled some fingers.
Go ahead, Morgan. I'm sharing. I'm not going to be the little spoiled brat. I'm sharing my mama. Because, see, Dr. V shares her dad with us, so he's all of our dad. So I'm sharing my mom. I'm not going to be like that. So go ahead. Say what you want to say, Morgan. Go ahead.
Hi, Mama Kathy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, wow. So, Stacey, as we get ready to wrap things up, I did want to ask you about one thing. So, you just recently relocated because you were in New York and now you are in
California.
Oh my goodness. So
Wow.
did your move, was it sparked because of the business? All of that? How did you get from New York all the way to California?
It was God again. So
Sounds like me.
So yeah, it was God. So originally my daughter, for a long time she kept saying she is going to go to California. She was saying that she's going to go to school in California and all this other stuff, and I just was ignoring her because I thought, okay, I guess she's dreaming. And I never forget, we went to one of the music stores. I think it was, gosh, I don't even remember the name of the music store. And the gentleman was in the store talking to her about music schools in California. And I'm like saying to myself, okay, well, how is she going to get there? And then I hear God tell me to go with her. And I was like, oh, that didn't sound right. So I was saying to myself, I didn't hear him and all this other stuff. But to make a long story, he began to make it very plain that this is where I was supposed to go, and it took me a while. Okay, now you, April, you moved quickly. So
He didn't give me that amount of time. He just go.
Yeah, she said she didn't have enough time to kick, scream, and holler. She said she tried to throw a tantrum. He said, I said go.
Right. So, okay. Let me hurry up and get up out of here then.
yes. I love you too, Mama Green.
Oh,
yes. You guys, that's the light too, April.
huh?
You have vocal.
What now?
You have your mom's vocals.
Yes, we do. We have the same. Yeah, we do. I don't even know how that happened, but it did. You could imagine me answering the phone at home, and everyone's like, "Hey, Sister Kathy." No, this is April. Oh my God, you sound just like your mom. Yes, I do.
If I
So
know.
this is how it is. So we're good. Well, we thank you so much for
Thank
being on. Oh my God, this was amazing. I had no idea. You are a genius. You
Yes, yes.
genius
you, Lori.
are. You are. And God has graced you for this. He has prepared you for this. And I got something else I want to tell you. I'm not going to tell you here, but we're going to have to talk afterwards because I don't want this to turn into a whole, you know, how I can get into my prophetic thing. And I don't want to do all of that right now, but scare people off like, oh my God, what is she doing? No, I'm not going to go. I'm going to tell you that off camera here. But because I do have something to share with you. But I appreciate you being on here and giving us all this wealth of knowledge that you have. And we will look forward to the masterclass. Her website is on the screen. You can go and pre order her book that will bless your business beyond measure and will help it to grow exponentially because there's some oil. And I'm talking about some anointing on the information that's going to be on those pages. So you do not want to miss the opportunity to get that. Sow into her life to where she now will sow into your business and your life. You just, this is what you want. This is what you want right here. And don't forget to scan that QR code. I saw on the screen, Morgan, I don't know if you saw it or not, but we can tell when people scan this code, and we've already had like 2 or 3 people scan our QR code.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So scan that code. I want you guys to share everything that Hop is doing. Y'all, well, our first event that we're having, our first live event we're having is in September, and I can't wait to give y'all all the details. But listen, it is going to be fire, and I cannot wait to share all the specifics when it is time. But just know that it's coming, and you will have the opportunity to join us. It's going to be great. It's going to be epic. We're gonna Hop is going to the next dimension, and I can't. I'm so happy that we are a part of it. But Stacy, thank you again. It wasn't as
Yes.
bad as you thought it was it?
That's so true.
See, I told you this was like sitting in the living room and having a conversation. The only thing is that you have people watching you that you can't see watching you. So that's it. And they put comments in. So that's it. It was great. So it was
Amazing.
good.
It was amazing. And I'm so glad I got the opportunity to come and be up here. Thank you, ladies, so much. And thank you to
Yeah.
everyone who commented and participated. I really had a wonderful time.
Yeah, so when you get your master class together and when you get it formed and you get dates and all that specifics, let us know. We can post it. I'll post it on my page. I'm sure we can talk with peers to see about posting it on House of Peach page and
Thank you.
have it out there. Yeah, I hope you're ready. Are you ready? Are you
I'm ready.
ready?
I'm ready. And thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Mhm. Absolutely. So, yeah, yes, we are on the board. We are on the board for HOP. We are board members, and we are going to push Pierce's vision for HOP to push it on. We're going to push it on. We're going to do our part to help in expanding and reaching more and helping more women and inspiring more women, which is what we came to do, right? That's what we came to do. Morgan,
Mhm.
what you got to
I
say? What
don't
you got
know
to say?
what you came to do. I was so
Oh, you gonna take us back to church when we were kids? Oh my goodness, my mom. I know you heard her sing that song because when I come up with songs from way back when, she's like, "Oh my God, you were a kid when that song." I don't know how I know it, but for some reason I know it. So, but yes, We don't know what y'all thought was going to be about, but this is what H.O.P is going to be about. We are preparing you. We are getting you ready. We're going to push you. We're going to inspire you. We're going to motivate you. We're going to excite you. And you got all the resources. You come here and get free information. You can't beat that. You can't beat it.
Exactly. That's so.
Yeah. All right, Morgan. So any last word? You got another song you want to sing? What other song has come to your mind? Because I know you on a roll now. You are on a roll. She will.
I really was.
Oh God. Now I know.
Not going to. I'm not gonna. I really was. What almighty God we serve.
Oh,
that was the next one.
He wants to go to church, y'all. Oh my goodness.
I do. I want to go to church. Yes, take me to church. Take me to church.
He said, I need a good old Holy Ghost filled service right about now.
Absolutely. I just listen. I miss my grandmother. That was just, I guess, a little bit of her just right there. But because that was totally her.
Grandma has come up.
Yes, exactly. It must be the warmth of Mama Kathy.
Oh, maybe
and
that's
all of
what
this,
it is.
the spirit has just been here. I enjoyed today. Thank you very much. From my lips to your ears, Stacey. I really appreciated today as well. So,
ladies, thank you.
Yes.
So, all right, guys, this is going to be our show for today. We are going to see you next Tuesday. And get this, May has 5 Tuesdays. So you get an extra Tuesday to be on here with us next month. And we got a line up for you. I hope y'all have subscribed and get your notifications on. We'll see you next Tuesday at 7:15 right here. YouTube, Facebook, you name it, it's on there.
It'll be Noah's 4th birthday.
Say again?
I said it'll be Noah's 4th birthday.
Oh, yeah. Is that the 2nd?
On the 2nd, yep.
Oh, okay, that's right, because you said you weren't going to see how things would go.
We may or may not. He says he wants a Bubble Guppies pool party for his birthday. Yeah. So maybe we can finagle that on the weekend.
Okay. Well, just,
we'll give him some good cake and whatever he wants to eat on his birthday.
Right.
Pool party on the weekend.
Right. Sounds good. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening and a great rest of your week. And don't forget to subscribe to everything. And we will see you next Tuesday at the same time on right here. Bye. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm so extra. Express myself, I'm next up. Yeah, one more do say. Coming up. Yeah. Come on. Come up now.